Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's do a quick video. It's fall time, and the leaves are starting to turn. If I sound all gunked up, I'm recovering from a cold. Um, it's fall time. Leaves are turning. It's getting colder. The nights and the mornings are pretty cold yet. The weather's really nice, but it's definitely coming on. And I am one that hates winter. I hate it. If I never had to stay in Colorado for a winter, I would never be here. And I was thinking about it earlier. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for summer to be over. I'm not ready for the long days to be over, the warm weather to be over. I'm not ready for the change. I'm not ready. And like it or not, winter is coming. It's on its way. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. And of course, if you watch my channel, you know I talk about divorce. And divorce is a lot like that, where it's like, I'm not ready for this. I don't want this to happen. I don't I'm not ready for this thing to come. I can't slow it down, right? And once the divorce process starts, and if you're starting to go through one, especially the guys, feel free to reach out and talk to me. I would love to talk to you about it and walk you through it. Good news is it's 2023. Moms can't just keep kids like that, not as much as they used to. It's still an uphill battle. There are only 3 states in the United States that start at 50-50 custody. 3 in 2023. 3 states start at 50-50 custody, and you have to work your way back from there. Otherwise, you're going to have to prove why you should have custody of your children. So things like that, where it's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the divorce. I didn't want this divorce. What do you mean I can only see my kids X amount of days? I'm not ready for that. Why is that a thing? If that makes sense. And so something a good friend of mine who through a divorce before I did, he told me something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. And it was the most brutal thing. He had no care in his voice. He had no sympathy. No, not that he understood what I was going through because he had already been through it, but it was just very matter of fact. And it seemed just kind of cold. But he said, the storm is coming, whether you like it or not. You have to get ready for it. And it's like, well, I'm not ready for that, you know? And, um, I'm not ready to not see my son every day. I still have to deal with that. I'm not ready without talking to my kid every day. I'm not ready to, you get it. And if there's any good thing about this type of stuff at all, is that it really makes a man out of you. I really think it does. Um, if you were kind of, speaking for my own self, a bit of a pushover in your relationship, so on and so forth, and then there's a certain line that you put down, and it's like, okay, I can no longer be put in this situation. I can no longer be bullied, right? Now, Big Daddy government trumps all. Big Daddy government trumps all, right? And so it doesn't matter to the government that I can't see my kid or that I have to pay child support. I'm a good dad. I take great care of my son. I'm not ready. I don't want to pay child support. Why would I do that? He's my son. I take good care of him. Doesn't matter. Once Big Daddy government got you in divorce court, divorce court mafia, forget it. You have to pay. Um, all that to say, just like winter is coming, I can't stop it. It's on its way. Cold weather is on its way. And I don't want it. But it doesn't matter. It's coming. The best thing that I can do, the storm is coming. Get ready for it. There's nothing you can do. You have to get ready for the storm. And it's true that the best way to get through some things is to go through it. Is to go through it. The best way to get through things is to go through it. The best way to get through winter that's coming up is to get through it, enjoy it while it lasts as best you can, and then springtime comes, right? This is the same thing with our lives. We know this. A good friend told me when she went through her divorce that it was a death. It was a death to her. She died. And that's exactly what it is. It's a real death. And again, I'm not ready for winter. I'm not ready to not see my kid every day, or kids, if that's your situation. I'm not ready to pay child support. I'm not ready to move split spaces or jobs or homes or whatever. It's like I'm not ready. But it doesn't matter. It's coming anyway. And the best way to brace for it is to be patient with yourself. To be patient with yourself. That's really true. Last thing, I'll end with this. My best friend, he lives out in Nashville. I don't know if he watches these or not. We're going through some very similar things. Different but similar. He's my age, so he's in his 40s. Never been married, no kids, which he desperately wants. And there's some things that just have happened in his life that he's not ready for, that he doesn't want things to be this way, but they are. And I'm having to take my P's and Q's from him because what he does is every morning and night, he sits and he lets life hurt. He sits there by himself, nothing on, no music, and he does what he calls a silent prayer. And he just sits there and lets the emotions overtake him and just lets them pass. Like he's watching a movie on a movie theater, just lets his thoughts pass. If you listen to Jesse Lee Peterson, you know what I'm talking about. And lets these thoughts go. And recently, I've started taking that more to heart, where it's like I have this certain corner down in my living room where I sit, and I'm starting to do the same. You just have to sit there and allow the thoughts, not necessarily the emotions, but the thoughts wash over you. Let them come in and let them pass, right? Like Jesse Lee Peterson talks about. All thoughts are all lies all the time. And I think that's a pretty solid way to strip the emotion of something like going through a divorce or not seeing your kids every day. That's a pretty good way to strip it of its power, the pain that it inflicts on you. Is to sit with it, digest it, let it hurt, and then let it pass. Right? Makes sense to me because I'm one to not do that. I'll stay busy. I'll watch a show. I'll put on some music. I'll cook a dinner. I'll go stand on my head before I'll go sit still and let the things that I didn't want to happen come in. I will do that. And recently taking his lead, like his advice, and just sitting and letting it come over you. To where eventually it loses its sting. Eventually it loses its sting. More and more, I think, every day. So anyway, you get it. Something's coming your way that you don't want. You get a cancer notification from your doctor. You get a bad deal in your job and they let you go, something like this. And it's like this thing's coming and I don't want it to, but I can't stop it from coming. And so these things are in God's hands now. These things are in God's hands now. I think it's our job to sit be still, wait patiently, because these things are in God's hands. And if there's something you can do about it, great, try those things out to make your situation better. But if there's nothing you can do about it, like your ex isn't coming back, you won't get to see your kids every day, you get fired from something, you get it. And do everything you can to make things right, of course. But then there's just a point where it's untenable and you can't. For those things, wait. They're in God's hands now. That's it.